But the problem is there are some group of buyers, they buy your item, they keep quiet. They do not say anything, they do not look at the item, they do not look at their order. Day two, they keep quiet and the item gets shipped out to them. And as soon as the item gets delivered, they immediately go ahead and initiate a return. And the reason being that I ordered this item by mistake. And I'm asking myself, how is it possible that you bought something on eBay? Like you physically went there, you bought this item, you searched for it and you saw it, you compared the item with other items that are being sold, you clicked on the buy it now button, you bought for it, you went to your PayPal, because when you are consummating a transaction on eBay, sometimes it gets to a point where you have to be taken off platform. You go to PayPal, you put in your login details, and then you physically pay for the item, and the item gets delivered to you. And as soon as the item gets delivered, you immediately take the item. I want to send it back because I received a case right now that's kind of very crazy. The buyer said to me, the item is still in the original box that you sent. I've not even opened it. Please, I want to send it back. I ordered it by mistake. And I'm asking myself, how is this so difficult for you if you have bought something and you feel like it's a mistake? How is it so difficult for you to go onto the eBay app and just initiate, a return? Like I said, all you have to do with the click of a few buttons, you should be able to see the item that you have bought. Clicking on the options, you should be able to see a place where you can request a cancellation. I'm telling you from experience, every seller will be super happy to, approve a cancellation request because it is way less expensive than you, taking the item, in my own case, a PC, taking this PC, cleaning it up, testing it, making sure everything is working, upgrading it in the event that I need to upgrade the RAM or the hard drive, upgrade it, then bring it on, pack it up, spend time, spend money with the packaging materials, making sure everything is good, print out the invoice, and then take it to the post office, send it off to the buyer. And don't forget, I also paid money, sending that item off to the buyer. The buyer receives it without thinking. It's an item that I'm not going to say that is an item in the worst condition. As a matter of fact, the buyer hasn't even opened the item to even take a look if the item's condition is good. Of course, they receive it, and the first thing it says, I want to return this item because I feel like I ordered it by mistake. The item is still in the original box. I haven't opened it. That's not good enough, all right? It's not good enough, and I'm asking myself, how difficult is it to cancel an order on eBay? If you do not know how to do it, of course, there are thousands of videos on YouTube that's going to show you exactly how you can cancel an order on eBay. You don't have to wait for 3, 4, 5 days for the item to be delivered for you to finally make up your mind that you have made a mistake buying that item. In case you didn't know, the seller of that item has spent money, spend money in shipping the item, spend money in packaging the item, spend time in setting up this, item, making it possible that you receive it in record time. And then in situations where the seller is also offering free returns, that's also going to cost money. The shipping service I use, which is DHL, it cost me €8 to get an item, sent back to me. And in most cases, when the item gets sent back, I won't be able to use the packaging materials anymore. The box would have been, kind of used. It doesn't look fresh or it's still stable. The bubble wraps cannot be recycled because the sellotape I use, they are very good quality tapes that if I attempt to peel them off the bubble wrap is just going to be broken. And at the end of the day, everything just becomes a mess. I do not have a problem with people returning my items. Yes, we are humans, like I said, but it should at least be for a responsible reason. If you bought an item like a laptop or a desktop PC, and then you try to switch it on and you realize that perhaps it's too big, or the monitor in this case is too small, or perhaps it's not just fast enough for your needs, right? You can go ahead and say, look, I don't think this is something I need. I think it's too slow for the kind of things I want to do. I can pretty much understand that. If you bought something and the item gets delivered and you realize that, initially you said the item was supposed to be in very good condition, but from what I see, there are so many signs of use on the item. I do not think I want to keep it. That shouldn't normally be a problem, but the problem comes where somebody buys an item and the next thing that you hear is, I want to return it because I bought it in error. I'm like, who buys a desktop PC in error? See, these are items that cost a lot of money. Before you spend like €300, €400 on an item, you have to be sure that at least you have the money to spend. This is not something like a €10 or a $10 pen or some, piece of, hand gloves, things that you can easily buy for €3 and just, okay, I bought it without thinking. These are items that are very expensive. €450 is a lot of money, and this is not something that you buy out of sheer mistake. This is something that you have to first think about. Perhaps your PC is broken and you need something new. And then most times what people do before buying stuff like this, they sit back, they check and see if the deal they are getting is the best deal. You do not just bump out to eBay, go on there, type desktop PC, and the first item, you just buy it. You have to take a look. This is a good deal. Does this have everything I need? Does it have the right processor? Does it have the right storage, which is hard drive? Does it have the right RAM I need for my purposes? I kind of edit videos and into media production and into movie making. Does this PC meet my need? And when you have done all that, you go ahead, you hit on the buy it now button, boom, the item gets bought. And all you have to do is to wait, chill out, and see if the item that has been delivered to you meets your needs. And when the item comes, the first thing you want to do is to open it up, make sure that everything, according to what it says in the description, is exactly what you're taking a look at. Take a look at it from the front, make sure it's in good condition, make sure that optically there's no, terrible sign of use. If it is used, make sure, yes, it's kind of compliant with what the description says. If it is new, make sure you're not being sold a used item that looks like new. And if all that has been checked, put on the item and see if the performance of the item matches exactly with what you have bought. And if the item meets your need, you can go ahead and keep it. And if for one reason the item doesn't meet your need, you do not like it, you can then go ahead and say, you know what, I want to return this item. And responsible sellers like myself will not have a problem, taking back the item and giving you, boom, a full refund of your money. But the problem comes where somebody sits there, perhaps out of just being boring, sits down, click, buys an offer, and then the item gets sent out. Immediately, the DHL tracking gives me notification that the item has been delivered. 10 minutes later, the buyer says, you know what, I want to return the item. I haven't even opened it. Everything's in the box. I think I bought it by mistake. Come on, buyers. I think you guys can do better. Take some time to see the item you are buying. Take a look at it. If it meets your need, read the description, and do not just sit down to begin to, click, buy items and begin to abuse the return process. Of course, it is your right as a buyer to be able to return an item, but understand that the seller on the other side also wants to sell items to responsible people that will sit back, buy the item and be patient to receive the item that they have bought, so that in this way, everybody stays happy, the platform stays happy, the buyer stays happy, as well as the seller stays happy. In this way, the seller can actually remain in business. If this video helps you, please go ahead and click on the like button, subscribe to the channel. Until I see you again in the next video, peace.